Okay, welcome to this lecture, which is a short course for 6 months. This course is called An Introduction to Operating System. So, to begin with, we'll start with the definition. We first need to understand what an operating system is. So now the first definition here is saying an operating system, or which is usually abbreviated as OS, is a software program that enables the computer hardware to communicate and operate with the computer software. So here the computer hardware, meaning we are referring to the keyboard, the speakers, the hardware, both internal and external hardware devices. Another definition can be an OS is responsible for the management and coordination of activities and the sharing of the resources of the computer. So the resources that some of the computers share, for example, if maybe 10 computers are connected to one network, one computer they're able to access one server and able to print different files using one printer. Then the last one, you can say the operating system, it acts as a host for computing applications that are run on the machine, which is the computer. So now, as a host, one of the purposes of an operating system is to handle the details of the operation of the hardware, and this relieves application programs from having to manage these details and makes it easier to write applications. Okay, so now the examples of an operating system here, as you can see here, we have Windows, the one which is having 4 colors, and then this one is Apple. This one here, the penguin, this is the Linux operating system, and under Linux operating system, this is where we find there is Ubuntu, Kali Linux, Elementary, and so on and so forth. Okay, moving on to the next slide, which is now talking about the functions of operating system. So now, having defined what an operating system, let us now look at the functions of an operating system. So now the first function, you are saying processor management, that is assignment of processor to different tasks being performed by the computer. Okay, sure, that one is self-explanatory. The second one is memory management. So the memory management, this is the allocation of memory and other storage areas to the system programs as well as user programs and data. Okay, so an operating system is also responsible for the input and output management, that is coordination and assignment of different output and input devices while one or more programs are being executed. An operating system is also responsible for file management, that is the storage and transfer of files of various storage devices to another. It allows all files to be changed easily and modified through the use of text editors or some other files manipulation. Okay, so now we continue with the functions of an operating system. There are quite a lot, but we'll just look at the necessary ones. So the last 4 functions, they are saying establishment and enforcement of a priority system, automatic transition from job to job as directed by special control statement. On this one, you'll be able to understand more when we meet in person for more practicals. The second one is saying interpretation of commands and instructions. So the interpretation of commands and instructions, in this case we are simply talking about now the user interacting with the computers. So let's say for example you want to play music. So the process of playing music, it is you the user giving instructions or the commands to the computer. You are telling it what it's supposed to do. Okay, sure, that one is clear. We go to coordination and assignment of compilers, assemblies, utility programs and other software to the various user computers. So now as we go on in this course, we'll be able to understand more what a compiler is, what an assembly is, and also what are utility programs. And utility programs, basically these are operating systems programs that comes with an operating system that helps in maintaining the running of different applications of an operating system. Okay, so the last one, it was saying it facilitates easy communication between the computer system and the computer operator, who is the user, the human in this case. It also establishes data security and integrity. Okay, so now if you look at the following diagram here, we've got user 1 and user 2 and also the user n. So under the user here, we've got what we are calling software and hardware. So basically the way the computer is made, it is made up of for the computer to work, it is made up of what? The hardware and also the software programs. So the software, these are basically programs that work in coordination with the hardware parts of the computer. Hardware parts of the computer, either the internal or the external, on their own they can't do anything minus the software, the involvement of software. So now under software, this is where we find two categories of software. The first one, we have system software. Second one, we have application software. So now under system software, we go to operating systems, and also under application system, it also goes to the same operating systems. So now under this application softwares, an example that I can give on this one is, for example, Microsoft Office. So Microsoft Office, this is an application or program which is meant specifically for certain tasks. For example, the way the VOC is, the one we use for playing music and videos, that one we cannot use it to open PDF files, but it is specifically meant for playing videos and what? Music. Yes. Then the system software, this is where now we can find the operating system, different types of operating systems. We've got Microsoft operating system. Under Microsoft operating system, this is where you find there's Windows 7, Windows 8, Windows 10. This time there's even Windows 11. Under Linux operating system, this is where you find like operating systems like Kali Linux, Elementary, Fedora, Ubuntu, and so on and so forth. We also have our operating systems that work specifically on mobile phones, and also the Mac OS. Okay, let's make progress. Operating system functions. So this diagram here simplifies all the functions that we were talking about from the previous slide. Okay, this one self-explanatory. Okay. So now, having looked at the functions of an operating system, let us also now talk about the different types of operating systems that are there. So the first one, we've got what is called the batch operating system. So in batch operating systems, the prime concern is the CPU efficiency. So the batch processing system operates in a strict one job at a time manner within a job. So it executes the programs one after the other, but following that logic, the way the instructions are being given to the computer. Okay. Move on to the next slide. The next type of an operating system, we are saying it is the single program system. So the single program system, this is basically the majority of small microcomputer based systems. They have an operating system which allow a single user meaning one user who is operating the device or the computer, to operate the machine in an interactive conversational mode, but normally only allows one user program to be in main storage and processed at a time. It cannot allow more than one user. So this means that there is no multi-programming of user programs. We'll be able to demonstrate this. So there's also simple batch systems. So these are systems that provide multi-programming of batch programs, but have few facilities for interaction or multi-access. Okay, we also have multi-access and time-sharing systems. So the majority of operating systems fall into this category, but there is a wide range of complexity in systems. Then we also have what is called the real-time systems. So the operating system has no cutoff for the type of real-time system being used. So the three types are given here in order of increasing the fast response time. A more complex mode, that one. There's also distributed operating systems. So under distributed operating systems, this is why we say when many computers are interconnected to each other through a network for the purpose of sharing their tasks, then it is called distributed operating system. Then time sharing, which I've already talked about. Okay, so this comes to, for today, since it's just the introduction to operating system, we'll just end here. For more information, you can call the contact which is showing on the screen, or visit the website which is on the screen there. Okay, thank you for your